Hey guys, hope you're all doing well and staying safe. I decided I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to repot my oldest orchid. This thing has been in its pot for at least, 9 years. So I've been really scared to even touch it. It's flowered a lot. It's been almost constantly flowering for 2 years, but it's starting to smell a little off, and I know that media is really, really old. So I'm finally going to take it on and repot this bad boy. Join me.
Are you a good girl?
So here's the spot where she's been living, in the living room, near a southwestern window, but not in the path of the direct sun. There's not a lot of humidity here, and there is a fireplace nearby, but she seems to like it overall. Here she is at the sink in my studio. I gave her a good soak to try to help the roots loosen and be more pliable. I've got some of my supplies too: hydrogen peroxide, bark mix, and some sphagnum moss. As you can see here, she's really stuck. Now in this video, I forgot about a few things, mostly best practice stuff. For example, I didn't wear gloves, but you should definitely wear gloves if you do this, especially if you think things might be rotting or in case of surprises like bugs. I also didn't bring out a tray or a mat to do this on, and decided to repot right on my art table. Big mistake. I gouged my art table in the process of doing this, and I don't really know how to fix that. So because I want to save as many roots as possible, it's time for the hammer. I'm not sure how much the camera will pick it up, but you can sort of see the rot on the media. It's light greenish where it wasn't before, and it has a smell. But honestly, I'm surprised it's not worse. Story time. This is the first orchid I ever had that survived. When I went to the Amazon in high school, I bought a little baby orchid in a vial with gel, had no idea how to take care of it, had no supplies to give it humidity, and within a few weeks after I opened the vial, it died. I mostly didn't buy plants after that, convinced I would kill them. But when I bought my first house about 10 years ago, I decided to try again. I saw her in the floral shop, and I loved her green and magenta coloring and couldn't resist. I wanted to take care of her, but I didn't know where to find information about it. After a year, I cared enough about her to want to repot her. So I bought one of those huge pots with holes in it that florists were telling people to use, and still do. And I put a ton of bark media, and basically plopped the old pot into the bigger pot without touching anything. I added a few stones on top for fun, and definitely didn't touch the roots or do anything to especially help her grow and thrive because I didn't know. And years passed, and she did pretty well. She reflowered every year. In the past few years, I learned a lot more about orchids, and in the meantime, my orchid grew and wrapped her roots all around the pot. I knew I'd have to choose between the roots or the pot, and it paralyzed me. She was doing okay for so long. I even started to get a bit superstitious about messing with her. Until now, 10 years later. So I finally had to get over my fears. Now I'm going to speed up certain parts a little because I don't think you need to watch every moment in real time. Now here you can sort of see something interesting, the moss plug. You can see where she was wrapped in pure moss from when she was a baby. Over time, the roots there can't breathe, and that's why most of the roots I'm going to cut off are in the middle there. They didn't have a chance to breathe surrounded by this pure moss, and so they rotted and died. Here you can see all the roots I removed. Overall, I removed a lot less dead roots than I expected to, which is great news for my orchid. I'm also spraying with a hydrogen peroxide solution, the kind you get at the pharmacy. It'll kill any extra potential rot or bugs, at least most of them. Now here's me underestimating just how much roots there are. It definitely doesn't fit this pot.
Why did I think this would fit?
Now I decided to leave the flowers on for now, even though they're somewhat upside down, to see if the plant feels like keeping them. So what did I learn? If it's been more than 2 or 3 years, don't wait to repot. Overall, I'm relieved at how healthy this orchid seems. I've lost a few orchids since I've gotten her, but I admit I'm really attached to this one. So here are the final shots of my repotted orchid. Finally, I've done it, after nearly a decade. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more orchid videos, orchid shows, or mini updates.